How to be more confident.
What a good question. But I'm pretty sure you have a lot of confidence already. Is there enough, like, too much confidence?
Yeah, obviously. I think that if you are too confident, then that totally feels like me with one of those tests where I arrive thinking I knew everything, and then you just end up failing that test, like completely flopping that test, and realize like, like I have the I think there's two types of confidence actually. There's the knowledge confidence, or like the confidence you get through knowledge, and then you have self confidence through adventure, or confidence that you will handle the unknown.
Mm.
And I have a lot of that second one, and that I'm good at that. I know that, wherever I go around the world, whenever I travel, that I can be all by myself, and even if shit hits the fan, I'll manage and I'll figure a way out, and everything's going to end up fine. And I have a lot of that. But that confidence is not something like is good, but if you're like 100%, how can we call that type of confidence?
It's more like just self-confidence.
All right, so if you have like 100% self-confidence, but you have zero knowledge confidence, even if you're super, like pumped for your exam, but you didn't study shit, then
It's gonna be difficult.
there's a possibility that the possibility is that you're gonna fail that exam, and that's it. But on the other side, if you have 100% knowledge confidence, then there's some self that comes into that. Probably will you figure out the exam, but who knows? Like, here's one thing about knowledge: you can always know more. There's like the same way that we're at this very moment, every word that comes out of my mouth, there's like brain cells that are working, and I'm making decisions, split decision. But the amount of data that I can take in consideration to make those decisions are infinite. And it's the same thing about confidence, and especially knowledge confidence. The amount of knowledge you can have is infinite. You can never be too ready or not ready enough, probably.
Yeah.
But you can there's no end to it. So at some point, somebody that doesn't have enough self-confidence, let's say they're super knowledgeable in something, but they don't have the self-confidence to put themselves out there,
or they get just too nervous to actually bring forward the knowledge they have.
exactly, then you can see how it lacks, and it's a nuisance.
Don't know French.
It's bad for
That's
them.
you. But back to the question, like, okay, now we split more the definition of confidence, but let's say no matter what level you're at, how to gain confidence, how to get more of that.
I'd say pushing your limits, getting out of your comfort zone, kind of classic, pretty basic.
Yeah.
But what would you push? What's a concrete thing you think would really help somebody that, I don't know, lacks like social confidence?
Like for me, I was a very shy person, and
Yeah.
at some point I just decided like, hey, I really don't want to be shy anymore. This shit sucks.
Yeah.
And then I pushed myself, and I started by like, okay, dumb things, but like when you're a child and your mother calls for you everywhere to make appointments.
Yeah.
And I would start with that, just make the call by myself. And it was super scary at first, but like you get there. And then like with like the phone, you don't really see the person, so it's a little step out of your comfort zone, but not too far. And then you can actually go a little bit further and actually, I don't know, speak to a not known person, or just talk to a stranger or whatever. And so like step by step, I think it's important to not get into full exposure into whatever like field you want to get more confident of, but like taking small steps and acknowledging the steps that you take, and then but being greedy, wanting more.
I like it. And I find it super interesting that you say that for you, just calling or taking those rendezvous by yourself was something, like, was a big thing.
It was.
Wow. Because like I said earlier, for me, I've always kind of feel that I had that, or maybe I did not at first, but eventually you just, you push yourself, you push your limits. Actually, for me, I think where confidence is interesting would be the guts it takes. I think that could be like a whole like video, but the guts it takes, to ask out the first person you kind of feel that you're either falling in love or you're interested in, or not the confidence, but having the guts of actually taking her or his hand, or kissing her.
But you have that.
But I did not at first. Like, it's something like it's like you don't kiss your first girl before you actually do. And,
wow.
but you get it. It takes time. It takes confidence, or even like to go see other people. And now I said it takes confidence, but you need to be able to, and it comes back to a little bit to this last day's podcast, where you just need to trust that even if it doesn't work out the way you want to, it's gonna work out. Just maybe not the way you thought it would.
Yeah, so self-confidence or confidence in general is kind of related to trusting the process and like knowing that you will get there, that it will work out.
Yeah, but and here's one thing, like I don't want anybody go in thinking that, oh, then if I trust the process, like confidence going to come to me.
No.
Confidence is an
way.
active thing. Yeah, you need to either put yourself out there. Let's say if it's social confidence, then you start small and then you build up and you build up. And like you said, it would be really important to acknowledge the efforts you're putting in and what you're able to do that you were not able to do, let's say, a month before.
It's also important to highlight the things you are confident at or that you like about yourself, so you kind of can gain confidence out of that.
Interesting. Yeah, so taking the time to maybe write down what you're good at,
and bringing that
it could
forward.
be like some kind of confidence booster.
Because like if somebody is very shy but is very good at playing the violin,
Yeah.
then maybe the person can gain a lot of confidence through this creativity, and it might spread to other fields in their life.
Yeah, super interesting.
So not only focusing on what's lacking, where I want to improve, but what do I have that I can highlight.
And for me, confidence is a hand-on activity. Because whether you're trying to acquire self-confidence, which is the power to trust yourself in unknown situations, or whether you're trying to gain confidence through knowledge, where you're just learning, and then the more you learn, the more you know about a subject, the more confident you feel about it. It's a process that's an action. Like, you need to do something to acquire it. So if you just stay there and don't take her hand, if you just stay there and decide that you'll never play music in front of anybody else because you're shy of making mistakes, then you won't get there.
Yeah.
You start small. Either you start playing in front of your family. Weird thing, I'll go throughout music. I think music, I played saxophone for a while, and is something that, it's funny that I'm reminiscing all those moments, that really helped me out. I would play saxophone at school in the hallways, and in front of strangers, I felt better because I said to myself, well, they don't know me, I don't know them, and I don't care. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't, and that was it.
Oh, interesting thought. Okay.
And I did that a lot, and I think that's one of the reasons why I gained a lot of confidence. At first, I was like, oh, and I was always playing, the things I really knew how to play, and the more I started playing in front of other people, the more that at some point I would actually just try and test things and not really care about whether the other people would like it or not.
So
they were just like an audience for me now, and I wasn't even caring anymore, just in my own bubble, doing my own thing. And the second you're in that kind of flow, then everything becomes better because you don't have this stress anymore of whatever other people might think of you.
But so you actually were more comfortable in a surrounding where you didn't know the people.
Yeah.
Because I would say that it's my first thought would be to start with people you know, like, I don't know, your family, your flatmates, or friends, or whatever, and then go to strangers. But for you started with strangers and went on to more beloved ones.
Yeah.
So the supporting system can be very different here.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why, but when I play in front of my family or I play in front of my friends, I always put this. I don't know. Maybe it's just a me thing, but I tend to put this pressure on myself, and I want to perform. I want to be good. But when I play in front of strangers, well, whatever happens. And I mean, in all situation, it should be whatever happens. But there's just this something that comes around when I'm playing for people that I love and that I know.
Okay, so what's like the main recommendation to gain confidence now from all of that we spoke about for you?
For me, act. Take whatever you want to be more confident in. Just find a way to put yourself out there, whether it's in front of family or strangers, whatever is more comfortable for you at first. And the more you do it, you need to start somewhere, but the more you need to do it, and as long as you start doing it, it's gonna come around. As for you?
I think, yeah, it's just starting. Like, it doesn't need to be a big step, but just maybe also like the decision that you really want to gain confidence is the first step that really is needed to go forward from there. Right. Because if you're comfortable with being shy or whatever, you will not make a change. But if you will actually want the change, if you suffer from the situation that you have now, then you need to have motivation. That's when it comes to like the basic fact, you need motivation and then act.
And I think it snowballs. Like the moment you start, you kind of get this first little, like snowball, and then it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger until you get to the point where shyness or confidence, either shyness is non-existent or confidence is, the main you.
Yeah, I like that.